Hello, welcome to my craft room. My name is Deanna Gonzalez and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I wanted to show you something rather simple but very beautiful today. It did take a whole bunch of Stampin' Up! Products to make this simple card, but if you don't have all the pieces, I'm sure that you can find random things with some of your other stamps, and if not, I'm sorry about this. It's just I have so much fun grabbing random things. So I did try to make it a little faster today, so I've done some pre-daubing and cutting out, so hopefully it won't take an eternity to do this video. But this is the card. Very romantic and beautiful, I thought. I really like the way the inside turned out, and I played a little bit with the grunge dot thingies. And so I used all of these stamp sets. So the rose comes from Stippled Blossoms or Stippled Blossoms, something like that. Gorgeous Grundge for all the background dotty bits. The For You for the sentiment on the inside, thinking of you. And then I did do I think it's en français, for a French, handwriting, beautiful kind of background. And then I used the papaya collage, and this is there's two sets to it. It's a lot of stamps. So this is the second set of the set. And I did end up having to use I'm going to use a Stamp-O-Majig for the sentiment on the inside because, as you can see, it's kind of leaning funny. And then I did choose 3 of our end colors. So I did the baked brown sugar, the Costa Cabana, and the crisp cantaloupe. So these were super lot of beautiful fun to play with. So I did do that, and you are going to need the 8.5 by 11 cut in half this way, the long way, as well as some random pieces of the brown sugar, the Coastal Cabana, for stampaging, and the 4 by 5 1/4 for the insert part. So yes, and since daubing is rather a simple technique, and I'll be showing you how to daub the outside, I felt like it was okay to pre-daub so it wouldn't be too crazy. So yes, moving some of this aside, we're going to get our scoreboard, and we're going to get started. Alright, so if we line up at the 5.5, it's always different on this one because it's the longer. I'm so used to doing the 4 1/4. So if we do the 5.5 and we just score there, and we just scored there, there we go, yes. Now we're gonna put this aside and fold this, and as you know, I love the way that this looks when we use the scoreboard. And now I'm gonna come in here and let's move these out of the way. We're going to get the crisp cantaloupe out. And if you haven't seen any of my, I like background stampy things, this roller unfortunately does not come from Stampin' Up! I did get it at creativeplaystamps.com, and it's I think it's Stampin' Obsession is the company, but I really, really love the roller. But you can use the really large Stampin' Up! Block as well. You don't have to use this one. And do I have this upside down? I can't tell. Okay, I think it starts this way. I think that's a J, and so that'll be the top part. What are you gonna do? I love the way that the grunge spotty bits can look really, really nice with using the background stamps. It can just add so much. I really like it. We're just gonna come in here, line that up the best that we can. If you're doing the rolling, you don't want to roll back and forth, so we're just gonna do this once. Hope that it's good. Yeah. And luckily that smudgy bit on the back is going to be folded, so it won't be there. We're just gonna let that dry for a bit before we play around with that anymore. And we can do some other stamping while we do that, if I can get that block out. So how are you doing today? Huh? Are you having some fun getting new ideas of things you're going to want to craft? I don't know about you, but I just love sitting there and getting tons of ideas, you know, especially if I don't feel well. Just sit on the couch, you know, and either, you know, look at fun books and different ideas, or, you know, if you go online and look at videos, watch videos, get inspired, get yourself really, really pumped up for the next thing you're going to want to make, and have a great time, and try not to think about how lame you might feel at the time. Anyway, so I'm going to come in and take the beautiful frame. I just think this is so beautiful, and ink that up really well. And to cut it out, I just followed the little score, the scrolling score on the outside, and I thought it turned out rather well, actually. So we're just gonna go in and lay this down. Doesn't matter how perfect it is, because we're going to be cutting it out and putting it on our card. So get good pressure, and here we go, the beautiful score. As I said, just, you know, cutting this out, or you could do it, just cut out a square, and that should be just fine as well. I definitely liked the fun, you know, swirling around the edges, but hey, you know, whatever you like, it's all good, right? And I do love the Stampin' Mist and Scrubber. I think they're fantastic, making everything stay looking really, really nice. Actually, I should just start moving everything out of the way, right? So I suppose the next thing we will stamp will be the flowers. Now, I did a stamp off technique so that I could get, actually I'll move this over here, so I could get the blue just the right shade. Otherwise it's really, really dark. So what I did was I just came in here, I stamped it off, let me make sure it's really inked well, and we've got it, you know, covered really, really well. Alright, we're going to stamp it off twice, so 1, 2, and now we're going to come in and stamp our rose. And see, it's a very soft, light, subtle look, and that way when we come in now with our other stamp, it's going to be, the regular Coastal Cabana is going to be very dark and look really, really nice, show up really beautifully. So I'll just put that back for now. And let's get in the darker color. I mean, well, darker color and outline. So we're going to come in, line that up about where we think the rose is. How beautiful, right? Isn't that gorgeous? So we have the light shading, but then we've got the beautiful outline, and I just think that looks so great. And I guess I've been spraying a lot of cleaner in here, so I don't have to spray it right now. Woohoo! That's what happens when you do too much, right? So there's that. What are you gonna do? I don't know. So with the inside one though, I did try the technique, but I really just thought the by itself one little stamp was cute. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the one little stamp, and as you can see, you always use those little scrap pieces. I mean, this baby's been used a lot, you know, so you see like the different shapes punched out and cut out of this thing. Poor thing. So yeah, poor baby. But that's those. And as I said, I just simply cut around the edges, and then I used the dauber and daubed the edges. There we go. What am I doing? I don't know. Crazy, crazy kid sometimes. But, you know, it's all good, right? Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, let's see, let's bring in our pieces here and get an idea of what we're doing. So that'll go there, and this is on the inside. So now we're going to come in and we're just going to start decorating the inside of our card. Get it all beautified, you know. So actually, technically, I'm not making it beautiful because I'm going to grunge it up. I'm just going to get some little spots stuck on our card here. I just think that looks really cool, and I'm just going to come on in and get that going down the side here. I think that's cute. And I'm not quite certain exactly how I did it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my own thing here. So just in case I use that with this one as well, I'll leave it out. But I do know that I used a messy bunch here. So we're just gonna messy bunch our spots here in this corner. Yeah. And then, whoops, get a little bit of a messy bunch up here. Yeah. You can always do the stamp on, stamp off, make it a bit lighter, you know, to give it that look. We could always do that with this one here, so you can get an idea of what it might look like. So we're going to stamp off and stamp on, and see, you get that kind of subtle in the background kind of thing going on. And then maybe we'll do a rich dot there. Oops, I did a line there. Well, hopefully yours didn't make a line, and that's fine. But since we're dirtying it up, you know, probably doesn't matter that much. I think I want to get a little bit in the edges here, just to give it that full look here. So I think that's cute. Do we like that with the rose? Too much of a similarity here. So let's get a little bit. Let's get a little bit more. We could just try to cover up our little splatter problem, right? So we'll just do something like that. That's cute. And even though that went on the frame, I think it's still adorable and just gives it a special little touch, you know. It's up to you. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do what I just did. So let's just come in and clean these really well and move on to our sentiment. Thinking of you. Now, I am going to use the Stamp-A-Majig because I did botch it up last time and it wasn't quite perfect, so I was kind of sad. So I'm just going to line this plush, come in with my sentiment, and go straight up and down. There we go. So now I can line it up exactly where I want it, and try to make it as straight as possible. I'm thinking that that looks pretty good. Just lay this here. Be very, very careful when I lift it up. Oh, and see, look, I moved it. I'm sorry. I'm going to make you take more time. All right, let's try this again. See if we can lift this without lifting the paper. Wow. Nobody breathe. Just kidding. Okay, so now we're going to come in, go straight down and up, and look! How great! Woohoo! I'm so excited. So I think that looks beautiful, right? And then we're just going to come in and we're going to be able to stick our little flower there, and it's going to be marvelous. So get this back, move this out of the way. Okay, so now that we've got that, and we'll stick our little flower there for our insert in a little bit, let's get some daubing done. So now you can imagine applying, if you haven't daubed before, you can imagine applying this technique to all the inside pieces. So the flowers, the you know, the inside here, it's really rather easy to daub, even in the little corners and crevices and you know, special little spots. It's really not that bad. I have a funny thing about like either sponging or daubing. It just seems to, I don't know, it just adds so much to the card, and you know, dimension and just beauty. I don't know. I'm just having way too much fun doing this. But you'll also be able to see the difference between a card that was daubed and a card that was not daubed, as the first original piece was not daubed. So since I don't have my snail adhesive, I'm going to use my Jumbo Exiron Mega Runner. So you get to see what that's like. And unfortunately, no, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this. And I really love this. It's got all the little dots instead of lines, so it's, you know, always going to be covered. So it's a lot of fun. But there we go, there's that. And we'll just put this in the center the best we can without pressing too hard. And I could have daubed the inside of the edges with the crisp cantaloupe as well. But I really liked the way that this looked, just simply. And you know, obviously I've daubed this, and I didn't even daub the other one. So here we go. Put this back. Oh, what are you gonna do? I don't know. So now we're going to get Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're going to have some fun with those, and get, you know, just kind of make sure that we have them all around the edges here. Get it good. I definitely don't like the sagging look, so I tend to put a lot of dimensionals on. If you're either on a budget or you just don't like, you really just don't care how much support you have, don't worry about it. Just do whatever you like. I really like support. So probably sounds like a emotional problem, right? I need your support. Oh, hold me up. But anyway, so it's just definitely something I've always been used to, just making sure that, you know, when I give a card, it stays in nice form. So anyway, here we go. Let's get this centered. Right about here, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah? Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So now, let me just go ahead and attach this on the inside here. Just move that out of the way for a little bit. And get some, maybe just a little dab of Tombow. I had issues with a stamp earlier, so I just sort of just reused the piece of paper. Why not, right? I'm not going to put the dazzles inside right now. I'll end up doing that later and have it air dry, but I just squeezed a little bit of dazzles right in the middle here. So you can do that as well and then just leave it open to dry. But since I'm doing this with you right now, and I'm not going to be having this in a funny drying spot, I'm not going to dazzle it yet. I'll do that at a later time. Just getting some more dimensionals so I can pop my beautiful rose up, and then I will be playing with my dazzles. Yeah! Making sure it's all sticky and all my things are off. So I just came in and put it at a diagonal, as you can see. And now I'm going to use my dazzling details and just go in. Now what I wanted to do is, of course, I got the little circles here in the middle. Hope you can see that well. I find sometimes when editing a video, there's my head right in the way. I'm so sorry about that. I do like dazzling details because instead of using glue and then glitter, I'm not getting glitter everywhere. And when it dries, it has a beautiful glitter look, but I didn't have to worry about glitter ruining my entire craft world and myself. We're gonna get it on my eyes, and then I rub my eyes and boom, you know, got glitter in my eyeball. And yes, ruckuses can happen when you're crafting. You know, if anybody ever thinks it's a pansy sort of a thing to do, you can let them know, oh no, there are risks. I'm using sharp objects, and I can use glitter that you know, can get into my eye and cause ruckuses. So anyway, I highly doubt, you know, your little son or spouse or whatever is going to really see this as an amazing sportish type of a thing. But, you know, you can always give it a try, right? I mean, until you try, you never know. Anyway, so yes, I think it's cute just like getting some of these darker parts all glitified, and obviously need to leave that alone and let that dry. So I hope you like this idea. I know it's rather simple, but very, very cute in my opinion. Of course, that doesn't probably, you know, sell too far if it's my opinion. Like, of course I liked it, I made it, right? You know, although to be honest, usually as a, you know, as an artist or, you know, perfectionist, as you're making stuff, you usually tear your stuff apart and you're like, I just make awful things. And then people have to encourage you and say, no, keep going. It's fine. It's fine. You're learning. It's okay, you know. So anyway, I hope you had a lot of fun making this, or at least watching me make it. Hopefully you'll get great ideas and you'll have something you can work with to make something similar. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate all your support, and I love crafting with you. So please come back and craft with me some more.